They know what that is, so they can sync it up. Okay. All right, everybody, we are talking to Tea with Iroh, otherwise known as Joseph Wooten. Tell us about yourself today, sir.
Well, I live in Georgia and travel around to cons. I started out doing the Uncle Iroh cosplay because Iroh is my absolute favorite character of all time. I love Uncle Iroh, and I believe the world needs more Iroh. And I realized that I could do that. I could provide that for the world. I have a background in IT, but I also have a background in psychology and counseling. So one of the things that I love doing is just creating a safe place where people can come and just kind of hang out and relax. And everything I ever wanted to do as a counselor, I get to do as Iroh because of the energy that he brings to the world. And it makes me real happy to be able to share that with people.
Absolutely. And tell us, do you charge or make any money off of the Tea with Iroh franchise kind of idea?
Absolutely not. I don't sell tea. I share tea.
Share.
I am able to go around and hang out and share tea with people for free as an experience. And largely that is now because I have a lot of people who are willing to support me. I have tea vendors who donate tea. I have conventions that invite me to be a guest and pay for a lot of the setup and the space. And that lets me hang out and share tea with everybody with reasonably minimal cost to myself. And what I do pay, I gladly come out of pocket because it's just so good.
Absolutely. So I think anybody has a crazy journey to have gotten to a point like this. Tell us what led to the moments where you said, I want to share tea with people.
So my mom actually loves hot tea, and I've had hot tea around the house since I was very young, but I did a few cosplays. I've always wanted to be in conventions. I love cons, but I didn't really get a chance to go to cons until maybe 8 to 9 years ago. I did a few cosplays and never really felt the character. So I was thinking about, well, what character could I feel and embody and actually be? And Iroh came to mind, and I love drinking hot tea. I love being able to produce this energy. And when I thought about what I liked about cons, it was the hanging out with people and seeing the cosplays and seeing the people and that part of it more so than the panels and the other stuff. So I ordered a costume and did up a wig and beard and sat down in a hallway with a thermos and a couple of bags of tea, and I just meditated until people noticed me and started sitting down and having tea with me.
So yeah, that is an amazing journey. It's very altruistic, I think. I think it's at its core.
I don't know if it's altruistic. I get to enjoy the cons and just hang out with people. This is my favorite way to experience the cons. I'm hanging out at cons the way I want to. I call this an experiential cosplay, but I am insanely excited and proud of what it has become and how much it does help people that come and hang out.
I've heard it defined as a safe space for cosplayers here, someplace they can come to relax.
I do everything I can to create a safe space. So again, with my background in counseling, I like knowing that people can come and hang out and feel safe, feel accepted, feel there's no pressure and no judgment. One of my favorite things about this cosplay and the setup is when people come and sit down with me, they are able to talk to each other and just share an environment where if they're anxious, they can sit down and calm down. If they're, social anxiety, if they're overstimulated, it gives them a place to kind of, step away from the con and all the craziness. And it's such a unique energy that I love so much.
So have you always had a vendor's booth to work in?
I have not. So when I first started doing the cosplay, I was sitting in a hallway at Anime Weekend Atlanta, just hanging out, waiting for people to notice me. And the first year I would have, 5 or 6 people sitting around me at any given time, and then they would get up and leave. And I would just sit in the hallway and meditate for 10, 20 minutes at a time, watching the other cosplayers, and then more people would sit down and hang out for a few minutes. The second year I did it, I had 30, 35 people sitting around me at any given time all weekend for 18-hour days, and it was just insane. So at that point, I got so big that I had to have cons start inviting me and giving me space so that I wasn't causing problems for the convention.
I've come back to the Tea with Iroh house many times over the years, and it's been one of my absolute favorite places to go.
Thank you.
So I want to talk about the look, the influence that you got going on there. Iroh wore many different outfits, sometimes less, sometimes more. Tell me, why did you pick this one?
So I chose to do Earth Nation Iroh when he had a tea house at the end of the season 3 of Avatar: The Last Airbender, because that was when Uncle Iroh was happy. You know, he has a very distant history of, you know, being the general and being the next in line for the Fire Nation, and he went through a lot during the series with his nephew. But when Iroh was happy and he was making other people happy, it was in a tea house, and it was in Ba Sing Se, being able to just have a calm and relaxing life, and that's what I want to. That's the energy that I want to put into the world.
Absolutely, I love that. As opposed to any other looks, you know, I think that speaks so many volumes about what you do, who you are. It's a form of influence there. All right, so tell me, let's do some shout outs here. Tell me, how can we find you on the internet?
So I do have some social media. I'm working on building it up. Pretty much all of my tags are just at Tea with Iroh. I do have Facebook and Instagram. I have my own Spotify playlist that I've been building that I play while people hang out with me. So that's on my links page. So I've got all my links, I think it is, page. And it's, again, at Tea with Iroh for pretty much everything. And all of my pages have that main link, so you can access all my stuff there.
Excellent there. And did I hear correctly, you don't do any form of merch here?
No, I share tea. I do not sell tea. I do point people toward the vendors that support me. But if people like to donate, I am more than willing to accept donations. I have found that they help greatly with me being able to provide this to other people and other spaces. So there is a link to a Venmo and a Ko-fi page on my links page, as well as I take cash donations when I do the setups.
Absolutely. All right, if we could get any parting words of wisdom on a send-off, what would you say to people who are having the need to get through the day?
If you look for the light, you can often find it. But if you look for the darkness, it's all you will ever see.
All right, well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Consweet Media with the fantastic Joseph Wooten, otherwise known as Tea with Iroh. Come check this guy out. It's free, it's fun, and it's always happening. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day, sir. Thank you for your time.
Not a problem. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely, absolutely.